Hey guys, this is NDM here, and welcome you back to another episode of Let's Play Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. Okay, so in the last episode we didn't really make that much progress because we was wandering around the whole of Hoohoo Village just talking to people when all we had to do was talk to those 4 dudes at the bridge. But anyway guys, after all that's all done and dusted, we are now making our way to the top of Hoohoo Mountain. Right, so let's make a start on this, and we got some enemies to fight, which are these bean-like enemies. Quite easy to dodge actually, and quite easy to kill. I don't know how much EXP they give, but we're about to find that out. Well, they give 8, so that's 4 plus every bean that you kill, or beanie that you kill, because they are called beanies. And not beanie as in Beanie the Hat, you know, beanie as in bean, I guess. There are actually quite some really tough puzzles you have to do while coming up here. My microphone keeps going down to the bottom of the headset, and it's not like right in front of my mouth, so I don't know how well that's picking up my voice. It always does that though. So I don't think it'll affect the audio that much, but because I'm not really talking that loud, because I'm in a kind of a relaxed, mellow mood at the moment. I'm not in a very hyperactive, energetic kind of mood like I usually am. I'm just taking things to a more relaxed approach today. So, oh no, Luigi got attacked from behind, so now he's stuck on the floor. Yeah, if Luigi's speed is actually increased, when he gets attacked like that, he'll, like if his speed is higher than the enemies that took him down, after Mario's had his turn, it won't go straight to the enemy's turn, it'll go straight to Luigi's turn, because Luigi's speed will be faster than the enemy's, so he'll get the attack first, even though he's knocked down on the floor. Alright, there's a item block here, so I'm gonna get this. That's a syrup. Nice. We've got plenty of mushrooms now as well, actually. So we're all good on items. We're not gonna become completely stuck on trying to get mushrooms and syrups. Now there's another enemy up here. I thought I killed this guy. Obviously I didn't. Because enemies in this game don't respawn. Once you've killed them, they're dead completely until you've left the area. So they'll stay alive until you've disappeared. And I've just gotten messaged. Alright, hang on a second. I'll just get through this part and I'll pause it for a minute, because it's kind of important. Alright guys, be right back. Be right back. Alright guys, sorry about that, I'm back. Okay, so as I was saying, I can't exactly remember. Alright, so we got some new enemies here. We got dry bones, I think it's actually called a dry bones. Yeah, they're also pretty easy to dodge. All the enemies in here are actually really easy to beat, apart from the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are kind of annoying. It's just the way how you have to dodge their attacks. They're actually quite... They're easy to hit, and they don't have much hit points, but it's just their attacks are just so annoying to dodge as well. And Luigi is about to die, so I need to heal him after I've done killing these guys. Alright, so let's use up one of our many mushrooms that we have in our inventory, and get all patched up here. Yeah, it's getting a bit stuffy in here, I'm starting to sweat. I know that doesn't sound very pleasant, but it's been very warm these past couple of days. It's actually been kind of warm all summer. It's probably one of the hottest summers we've had in a very long time. I mean, it was that hot I had to go out and actually buy a fan. And that's like the first fan we've ever had in like ages. I can't remember the last time we even had a fan. but the heat was so intense during July, like in the middle of July, that it was just like constant heat all the time, and we don't have aircon in this house, so the inside of the house would just get really humid and really stuffy, and considering there's all these computers and consoles in the house that are being turned on and turned off, it's generating more and more heat, and that attributes to the humidity, and then you just start sweating and sweating and sweating until you want to die. So we decided to go out and get a fan, and that's exactly what we did, and it's kind of helped a bit. I mean, it attributes to, you know, it's like a replacement for aircon, but it's still not as good as aircon. I mean, I'd rather have aircon than have a fan, because at least then it keeps the whole room cool. But if you have a fan, it just keeps like the part that's where the fan is blowing cool. So you literally have to sit in front of the fan to keep yourself cool and not hot, because as soon as you get out of that line of the fan, you're going to start getting hot again. Like the fan doesn't cool the whole room down, because it's not powerful enough. You'd have to have like a giant fan to do something like that. And the fan that I have isn't big, it's like a tiny fan. But I've been using it, and I'm still using it now. I mean, it's not as hot as what it used to be, but it's still pretty warm. The temperature's starting to cool down now, because it's like August. Well, it is August, it's the 2nd of August today. Right, so what are we going to attribute to? We're going to attribute to our bros points. Get some of those boosted up a bit. So that's now 16. Nice. Right, okay. So yeah, it's getting to August now, and next month will be September, and we'll start getting to the colder months of the year, so I won't have to be using the fan as much. And the bad thing about the fan is that it consumes a lot of electricity, so what that's doing is increasing the electric bill. And considering there's a lot of, you know, computer software in this house that's consuming electricity, not only just computer software, there's also well, the washing machine, I guess that's kind of a consumption of electricity, isn't it? Yeah, you got the washing machine. You got 3 TVs in this house. I didn't want to attribute to health. We'll go for speed, I think, for Luigi. But yeah, we got 3 TVs in this house. 2 PS4s. 1 Xbox One, 1 64, 1 Mega Drive, Sega Genesis, we got a Wii U, we've got a Wii, what else do we have? PlayStation 2, got that as well. There are some consoles underneath the bed, actually. There's an original Xbox that's down underneath my bed. I've already been up here, that's a dead end, so I think we actually have to turn that water fountain on, but we have to go this way in order to do that. Yeah, I'm just trying to find my way around here is all. Right, so we need to switch from Mario to Luigi. And whenever you see one of these fiery statues, you have to have Mario put it out with his water. And then once those things have been put out, it will cause one of those faces on the wall to spit out a tornado, which we can then use to glide across to the other side. Well, this is actually no different than playing it on the Game Boy. The controls actually feel a lot like the same as if you were playing it on the Game Boy. It's kind of surprising, really, because, you know, like, I'm more used to playing games on Project 64 and things like that, and those games play nothing like playing it on the 64. Playing it on the 64 is so much better than playing it on Project 64. I cannot stress that enough. That's why I don't download so many Project 64 games, not only for the fact that some of them can be actually quite faulty due to glitchiness, but it's also the controls as well. Like, I tried playing Turok, I think it was Seeds of Evil, on the emulator, and that's almost impossible to play on a keyboard. You need to have a working class, proper PC joystick controller to play those kind of games. I mean, there are some 64 games you can play, like Mario Kart and Super Mario 64. You can't play Zelda because you have to use the bow and arrow, and the bow and arrow controls are really sensitive, so you can't play that. You can play Banjo-Kazooie. I managed to play that on the keyboard when I Let's Played that, and yeah, that went okay, but I tried Let's Playing Banjo-Tooie on the keyboard, and the results were not the same. Not exactly what I was expecting, because I was trying to get a Jiggy in World 1, if you remember. From that caveman, where you have to try and steal that statue, but try not to wake him up. Yeah, I was trying to do that one, but you can't sneak on the keyboard because the controls are just way too sensitive. Like, the best emulators for games are DS emulators, Game Boy emulators. Any basic 2D side-scrolling platform is good enough for an emulator to play on the keyboard. Like NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Gear even. But I haven't actually seen a Game Gear emulator anywhere. They don't do them on Emu Paradise, I don't think. No, not Emu Paradise, Emulator Zone, which is the common website that I use to get my emulators from. You can get emulators from Emu Paradise, but I prefer to get them from Emulator Zone because they're a lot more easier to access. At least I think so, anyway. Because all you got, because Emulator Zone is a website just attributed to giving out emulators, and it has the list of emulators on the website. It has the list of emulators on the website for a console. So, like, if you wanted a N64 emulator, you'd look down the list and you'd see Nintendo 64, and then you click on Nintendo 64 and it'll come up a whole list of different emulators that you can use. But the best emulator and most recognized emulator for the 64 is Project 64. There is MuPen 64, which is also pretty good, I guess. But I tried using MuPen for Conker's Bad Fur Day a few times. It's actually quite okay. It's not as good as Project 64, but it's decent. And Visual Boy Advance is obviously the best Game Boy emulator, there's no question about that. But there's also alternative emulators for Super Nintendo and NES. But I've always stuck with Z-SNES and Z-SNES and just Z-SNES. For SNES I stuck with Z-SNES, and for NES I stuck with JNES, because those are the best ones in my personal opinion. And I did have a Sega Genesis emulator a while ago, because I was thinking about Let's Play in a Sega Genesis game. I was going to Let's Play Hellfire a while ago. It was like round about the same time I decided on doing Mega Man. The first Mega Man game, it was like that long ago. And I kind of gave up the idea of doing Hellfire because that game is so freaking hard. That's probably one of the hardest games I've ever played. And when I say hardest game, I am not exaggerating. That game will kick your ass. I'm not kidding, dude. And I don't know how you get that block, actually. I don't think I ever got that before. Yeah, you see all these bean spots scattered around Hoohoo Mountain. There will be a lot of backtracking on the last couple of episodes of this Let's Play of me coming back to these kind of places to get the Hoo-Hoo beans. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably end up making a montage video just to collect the ones that I've missed. And before I go ahead and fight the final boss kind of thing. So that's what I'll do. Yeah, I've got everything planned out, so don't worry. So let's get Mario down here. We'll squirt our water all over this fiery statue of death. That will help us in getting further through Hoo-Hoo Mountain. You know, I've actually had real fun today recording this. I have, honestly. Alright, so we'll save it here, and I think we'll end off the video, and we'll continue on in the next episode, because we're like at the halfway point now of getting through Hoo-Hoo Mountain, and there is a boss coming up here. So until then, this is NDM saying thanks for watching, take care, everybody, see you in the next video, and goodbye.